Good evening, class. This is my discussion for our project that I'll be posting obviously on YouTube that you should be watching at this current time. I'm doing a covering on discussing the proximate and long-term events that led to the actions as the play begins. The plague seems to be the precipitating dramatic event. But what are the real reasons for the plague? Okay, so if anybody has read, spoiler alerts, obviously Oedipus is the reason for the plague. But we must obviously go through this breakdown of the story so that we can all understand the significance of the dramatic events that took place. The first main dramatic event would obviously be when we are told that the city of Thebes is plagued with this plague that is killing everyone. Oedipus asks his Roi, why is this happening to the city? They tell him that, hey, the person that killed the king is living in the city. Oedipus is like, hey, I'm the man, I'm the king, I'm going to handle this. And we're like, all right, we can get behind that type of flow. So obviously Oedipus goes about asking people for help to understand what he should do. Then the next dramatic event that takes place within the story is when he meets the blind man that speaks to him, and by cutting out all the things that are spoken, the only main thing that he says that's the most important is that he tells Oedipus that he is the reason for everything that's going on. Obviously, we are all like, that's foolishness, just like Oedipus says. That's foolishness. How could I be the problem? I did not kill the king. I'm not the reason for this. Then, obviously, the blind man has to tell him that, hey, you don't know anything. You need to get your stuff together and take a better look at your life and learn who you are, since you don't know who your family is and you don't know what you've done throughout your life and you don't even know who the king was. So he's like, okay, whatever, you crazy man. As the story progresses, the next major dramatic event that takes place in the story for us is when Oedipus learns that he actually did kill the king, or we do learn through him telling us about the events in the other cities that he was in when he was almost robbed and then he kills the king. Uh, After him stating that he has done this deed, and he's like, wow, I may have actually killed the king, and that he is the reason for why his city is dying, he's like, no, that still doesn't make sense. And we see at this point that Oedipus, still with all his pride and all the knowledge that he has, that he still thinks he knows everything just because he's finding out half here, half there, a little here. The next main event, obviously, is when Oedipus does learn that he is the reason for the plague in the city. And once that's done, the climax would be obviously once he blinds himself, saying, hey, me blinding myself, I can see the truth now. For when he could see, all he saw was his own ignorance and pride. But once he's blind, obviously, he can see nothing but the truth, for he cannot see any lies. Or those are the main dramatic events, or just a couple of them that are listed. Now, since I'm doing this personal video here for a class, I will just say on a personal note that this story was very difficult to grasp from the old style of its writing. But I will tell you this, after reading it 3-4 times, on the 5th time fully understanding what was going on, I have to say this story is actually pretty hilarious when you understand everything. I was laughing pretty hard to see Oedipus throughout the entire story telling everybody to shut up, you know nothing, when everyone else was telling him, you don't know nothing. We're trying to tell you, you don't want to know. I have to say that at each point through the story when I was seeing this event take place, I could not help but laugh. It was very well written. And if you did not read the story like you were supposed to and you're just watching this video, obviously I have not done you justice in making you understand fully. I just gave you the main dramatic events and the main reasoning and the ending outcomes. But you should read it and get a full understanding of all the characters and what they added to it. Peace out. Have a good day.